Nigeria Info.
10 minutes gone past the hour of 4. You're listening to Hard Facts on 92.3 Nigeria Info. I am Kala Dakurubatubo. It's time for us to shift the conversation. We're moving from the big stories making the rounds, and now we want to look at something that concerns River State. We talked about it briefly yesterday during the big stories, yesterday's edition, but now I think it's time for us to look at it deeply. And the story I'm talking about has got to do with the River State election tribunal judgment. Yesterday, the judgment did come in. The court gave several judgments against several petitions. Labour Party petitioned the court concerning INEC's declaration of similar life, whereas the governor of River State, APM, also petitioned the court or the tribunal. We also had APC petition the court against the election of Siminalai Fubara, and we also had a court party, and all of these parties had their petition struck out by the election tribunal that held in Abuja. Now, for Labour Party, they said the petition lacked merit. For APC, there was to talk about the party no longer being part of the tribunal case, and so they were wondering why. The APC governorship candidate was still petitioning the court. Also, other parties had their issues struck out. So quickly, I would like us to listen to a few voices concerning this. The former governor of River State spoke on it. We also had Tony Cole in our news bulletin earlier. We also had the governor, Siminalai Fubara, saying he's grateful for his election. So quickly, I'm going to look at some of the sound bites. I'm going to play them, and you would have a glimpse of what you and I want to talk about. Then I introduce my guest. So let's start with the sound clip for the voice of the governor of River State.
It's just to say thank you to God our Father, thank you to God His Son, and thank you to the Holy Spirit, and to appreciate my principal who has stood behind me and has created this opportunity with the help of every one of you here to say a big thank you, because if it doesn't mean a matter to him, he won't sit in the court from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. It is the beginning of the confirmation of the trust that you people showed on that very day. We will not take it for granted.
All right, you had the voice of the governor of River State. Let's listen to the voice of the former governor of River State, Nyesom Ezenwo-Wike.
Of importance is that the party had pulled out from this petition, saying that we cannot be a party to this. After we have reviewed our facts, yet the same boy continued in disobedience to the party's decision. The tribunal has said it's unfortunate. We don't know what you are still doing here. When the party that sponsored you has said, look, we're not interested. Why are you still here? The party has left with this banner. So on what platform are you standing? So for us as a people, we're happy so the governor can relax and do his work, even though he will do his work, but we don't need much of this distraction again.
Now, let's listen to the voice of Tony Cole, the APC governorship candidate during the election.
I really would like to see what the judges stood on to make their decisions. Not all the decisions were agreeable today, but we've heard what they want to say, so let's see. The main case is that APC withdrew, and as a result of that, my own rights were infringed on. So don't agree with it. But again, I need to see the basis for which the law allows me to continue the case. But the judges in their wisdom have said that APC's withdrawal modifies my case. That's a bit surprising.
And a lot of sound bites, I'm sorry, but one last one. This is the Labour Party deputy governorship candidate in River State, Sam Kinani. And let's listen to what he had to say as well.
If we end it here, we'll not be able to let Nigerians feel the pains we feel the pain of the robbing that was done at the election. One thing I keep telling people, whether we get the kind of we have taken the court and we have so many evidence available, they have come to do a nullification. So we are still going to take it to the Supreme Court and let's also hear from them.
All right, I've got Dr. Obidinma, Director, Media and Publicity, Beatrice, Itubo Campaign Council. Dr. Obidinma, greetings to you. Welcome. Good afternoon.
Caldo, thank you very much for having me.
All right. And I have, you've heard his voice on a couple of occasions when we talk APC issues here in River State. I'm talking about J.C. Williams, a lawyer and APC stakeholder. Good afternoon, J.C.
Thank you, Kalada. Good afternoon.
Oh, welcome. All right. So, Tribunal in River State has given its judgment, and that is what we want to talk about. First, I'll start with Dr. Obidinma. What's your take? What transpired in court? Can you explain to Nigerians?
Well, it's the normal election petition that my candidate and the party took to court in respect of the March 18 election, governorship election in River State. Basically, that election was marked with irregularities, which actually my party provided and my candidate provided. They needed both pictorial, electronic evidences of violence and irregularities across the length and breadth of the polling units in River State. Then again, it was also, the petition was also anchored on qualification, the issue of qualification. In the process of proceeding, I think they came up with all this, their preliminary objections and all those things, which the court really took off yesterday, and they also pronounced that our petition was competent. But in giving the judgment, especially on the issue of qualification, having proved that Similaye Fubara was not qualified.
They proved?
We proved.
You proved.
Yes,
okay.
With documentary evidence.
Okay.
We proved.
Okay.
They was not qualified to run for that election. And the qualification is election issue. It's not pre-election.
Okay.
People are kind of mistaking nomination and the qualification. Nomination is an internal party, but qualification, there are pictorial cases. Thank God there's a lawyer in the house here. There are pictorial cases that really outline it. And our position was that Similaye Fubara was not qualified.
When you say was not qualified, can you tell us what that proved was?
As at the time, in fact, as at the time of the election, he had not resigned.
But according to the Electoral Act, which is before you, I mean, you brought your Electoral Act into the studio. We have been told and as interpreted by the court that for you to be able to challenge the qualification of a candidate or a person, you have to be someone who has contested that position with him at the primary level.
No. That is not what the law provides.
Okay.
What are the primary? That's nomination.
Okay.
Nomination, that's why I told you that nomination is different from qualification.
Okay.
Qualification is really both constitutional issue and the Electoral Act issue. Is there in section 134 of the Electoral Act referencing the Constitution, the provisions of the Constitution, that if you're a civil servant, a public servant, you must resign 30 days before the election.
And you guys have proof that he did not resign 30 days before the election.
In their petition, in the reply to the petition, it was they pleaded that he resigned in December. Is that December 12th? And the governor, the former governor, Wike, acknowledged the
resignation.
Resignation on 16th of December. So, and that was clearly that he had become a candidate of the party contrary to the law.
Okay.
Because
Now
the law says
let's go to your candidate.
Yes.
Your candidate was chairperson of the NLC in River State.
Yes.
Did she resign?
No. That is a different. That does not in the interpretation of the law.
Yeah.
It does not fall for public or civil servant. That is an association.
Okay.
It's a trade union. This thing.
Well, he was also a civil servant.
No, she had retired.
I mean, Siminalayi Fubara was a civil servant at the time.
At the time of run the election.
Yeah.
He was a civil servant.
Your boss was a civil servant as well.
No. She had retired.
Okay, retired.
Beatrice had retired before this time.
Okay, I get you.
So, Andy, I want to tell you this: that when the Constitution says 30 days to the election, a lot of people think it is 30 days to the general election. There are pretorial cases. Election is defined as from the primary.
Okay. Let's speak to the lawyer now. JC, quickly interpret for us, give us legal expertise on this. Is it 30 days to the primaries? Is it 30 days to the election? Because I do know that the APC also had that argument in their petition. So what is your take on that? Resigning of its position before he became governor.
Thank you. In answering you, I'll give you a story.
You always give me stories.
You remember during the APC primaries?
Yeah.
That the presidential primaries.
Yeah.
Remember something happened. The National Assembly, being in a hurry to amend the Electoral Act, even shot themselves on the leg. They were not candidates because what that amendment said is that if you want to contest any election, of course, election starts. There is no more individual candidacy. You will submit to the party.
Okay.
Election processes begins. You have to resign before the primaries of the party.
Okay.
You remember that? Why I said I'll give you a story. You remember that? Right from Abuji Amechi running for the president's presidential
the primaries the presidential primaries of
APC had to resign. That is the only thing that will qualify him to stand for that election. That was primary election. He resigned. So there is no argument about that. That election processes does not start with the general election. It starts with party primaries. And that is what the law envisaged when the law said you will resign 30 days to. The law is talking about resigning 30 days before the primaries.
So who is supposed to resign? Is it a politician? Is it a civil servant?
See,
The civil servant,
let me tell you something.
the public servant.
Whether you are a politician appointed, in the case of a minister, you are an appointed politician now, holding office, you will resign.
Okay.
Whether you are a civil servant who wants to contest election, you will resign. That is what puts it. There is no ambiguity in that.
So
law.
yet again, you're a lawyer, and this is your jurisdiction. Would you say the court made a mistake in this one?
Well, you see, Canada.
That's why I said you are a lawyer, your jurisdiction.
Yes,
so
let
let's
me
hear
tell you
it.
something. I am here this afternoon when you call me to talk as a lawyer first.
Yeah.
That is my farm.
Yeah.
And I will not do anything that will jeopardize my farm. If my farm is no more, I don't have any other farm to go to.
Okay.
So in answering any of your questions, you should be mindful of that.
I'm
not
listening
here
to you.
as APC or PDP.
Okay.
Today.
Okay.
Now, if you're asking me if the tribunal made a mistake, I will not answer yes or no. Sometime before that judgment comes out, before you apply for the citizenship of that judgment, you will find out that some of the things you anticipated to see in that judgment will not be there, because the judge will have to go through that judgment thoroughly after typing, edit it before it gets to you. It is at that point when it is a public document. At this point, will people just heard what judges said? You don't have anything to prove.
All right. Let's pause. We go for a quick commercial break. When I come back, I would ask both of you another question. If your party will be appealing the judgment, since you don't want to answer this one the way I asked it, stay tuned. All right. Thank you for staying tuned. A lot to talk about, but such little time. For those of you just joining, I am Kala Dakarubatabi. You're listening to Hard Facts on 92.3 Nigeria Info. And we're looking at the Rivers State Election Tribunal Judgment. It came out yesterday. Some of the petitioners, or would I say all of the petitioners, two of them, or representatives of them, have got Director of Media and Publicity, Beatrice Itubo Campaign Council, Dr. Obidinma, who's also an international affairs analyst. Welcome on the show.
Thank you.
I also have J.C. Williams, lawyer and an APC stakeholder. Greetings to you. Welcome on the show.
Thank you,
let's get to your own side of the story now. I know I wanted to ask a question. I'll get back to that one. But let's start with your own story. What transpired in court from the APC's perspective? Can you tell us, please?
Okay, thank you. What transpired is that the what do they call it? The Election Petition Tribunal has delivered its judgment.
Okay.
That's what happened.
But how did it arrive? Did you, because last I checked, you were arguing that they did not resign. Your party pulled out of, that tribunal. Yeah. And I remember we talked about it where we asked is the national and the subnational, that's Rivers State, are they in unity? And you said there is no problem. And I asked, we did not affect the case. I remember asking that question.
Yes. Canada, I'm happy you remembered that. You see, I was surprised yesterday.
Okay.
First and foremost, I have not seen a copy of that judgment.
You said that before. All right.
So, as a lawyer, I would talk carefully until I see that judgment. But the one in the public space now is the ground upon which the tribunal dismissed the APC petition.
Okay.
Which is that the APC withdrew its petition. That is the ground for dismissal. And I was shocked yesterday to hear that.
But there is no individual candidacy. You mentioned it earlier.
Yes, let me tell you something. By Section 133 of the Electoral Act, it is too elementary. That's why I said I'm holding my breath.
What does 133 say?
It says here, look, it shows the persons entitled to present election petitions. An election petition may be presented by one or more of the following persons. A candidate in an election.
Okay.
And let me tell you the funny thing. They didn't say and. They say a candidate in an election. Or B, a political party which participated in the election. It is not a candidate and political party. It's either the candidate or the political party. So the withdrawal of a political party, like I told you last time I was here, has got nothing to do with the candidate continuing his course.
So a political party can decide to chase the case irrespective of whether the candidate wants to or not.
Let me look, my brother, let me even tell you. In Kano State.
Yeah.
After the election was announced,
okay,
the APC candidate congratulated the NNPP winner and said he wasn't going to court. He's not interested. Party, that is the B. Now, B, the person who is
that's the APC.
APC went to court. And you know what? Court gave judgment in favor of APC for a candidate who has said he's not interested. The question is that, the question we should not ask is that candidate that said he was not interested in going to tribunal and his party went and the party has won, is it not that same candidate that will be governor if Supreme Court affirms that judgment? You see, it's ridiculous. You see, I'm a lawyer, so I honestly I'm not happy with what's happening.
I'm going to throw the question back to you. Do you think that the tribunal erred in its judgment?
Well, tribunal members, the judges, they are not infallible. They are human beings.
Okay,
you understand?
Yeah.
But whether they are correct or they are wrong or right, it does not lie with me. I'm not the appellate court. I'm not the court of appeal. For all I know is that the petitioner in this instance will try the court of appeal.
All right.
It is only when Supreme Court say, oh, it is no longer the law that section 133 is no longer the law, then we will now say the judges of the tribunal did right. But for now, I will not say they are correct or they are wrong. But going by the position of section 133 without any fear of contradiction, me speaking, I will say that judgment to me is not correct.
Now you're saying APC will appeal. Did I get you right?
Well, I'm not, I told you here, I'm not the spokesman of APC.
Yeah.
But as a lawyer, I will suggest that APC, let's begin to expand our electoral jurisprudence. Let's begin to know, how is this? Is it possible? Is it that the law is no longer law? That is the one funny thing that judges, with due respect to them, 2-3 judges will sit down and take a decision that will affect millions of people.
Right.
And then we just say, well, it is the law. Yes, it is the law. But sometimes it's good for us to try the law. In this case, what they have said, judicial pronouncement is law until upturned. So for now, it's the law. Yeah. But I know that this will not stand.
I'll come back to you shortly, because there's something that the former governor did say, and I want to throw, and it has some connection with our previous conversations. But let's get back to Dr. Obidinma. Dr. Obidinma, I saw where the Labour Party's deputy candidate for the election said something about an appeal. You mentioned earlier that your party proved its case beyond reasonable doubt, but the court came out with lacking in merit judgment. So you're very sure an appeal would go in favor of the Labour Party? Yeah?
Like my colleague here is saying, that's a good window, even up to the Supreme Court, for you to explore, to ensure that there's the law.
Okay.
Also. Because yesterday, when this judgment was given, our candidate, our principal, Comrade Mr. Beatrice Itubo, insulted, made especially that disqualification, insulted the lawyers to prepare for appeal immediately. And two, other than that, the issue of compliance also came up. You see, in so many units, we are able to tabulate the problems that happen.
Now it's like you read my mind. I was going to ask, why did the parties, the petitioners, focus so much on technicalities? I want to call these technicalities. Am I right, lawyer? These are technicalities, right?
No. I will. You see, when you say technicality, the issue of qualification.
No.
It's not technicality.
I'm going somewhere. You said that there was an election and this person did not win the election. Would you not want to outrightly prove that this person lost in XYZ ward, XYZ locality?
No. They are interwoven. Both qualification.
Because test. You are not qualified.
Don't get me wrong. I understand you very well. But I'm also
saying, going to prove unit result when you are not qualified.
Okay. All right.
So what are you proving?
All right, let's get back to you. So you said you supplied evidence in court proving that, in certain units.
I think our lawyers, they did a very good job. Even, let me tell you this. Despite the fact that PDP and similar football, they hired over 16 sons. It was like David and the Goliath in the battle. And our lawyers did very good job, which if you see the proceeding, if you go to the proceeding, the address, you now know that, yes, it's not really getting that title son that really matter. It's your creativity, it's your skill of the law. Honestly speaking, that was what really gave our candidate the confidence that this team should proceed.
So, in your opinion, the tribunal erred in its judgment?
Not a lawyer. They erred. They erred. That's not my farm, according to my.
All right then.
So, but the thing generally, Canada, what the judiciary is doing is quite disappointing.
So now it brings me to my next point of my next question. If you think that the tribunal erred in its judgment, what gives you the confidence in the Court of Appeal?
Yeah, you see, there's this saying that there's no harm in trial.
Okay.
We cannot, because after all, there's one of our members in Delta State.
Is it the governorship?
Not governorship. House of Rep. Ngozi Okoli. The tribunal nullified his election. He won't appeal. Affirm this election, so there could be some sanity at the higher level. That's but correct. The point, there could be some sanity.
All right.
And to even add to it, what gives
the confidence?
What gives them the confidence? Is this law that must be followed to the letter? Is this law?
Okay. All right then. So you're also confident in the court of appeal as well?
Of course. Even if the reverse were to be the case. The winner in this case, the respondent, would have also appealed. So you have to exhaust all available means.
Okay. Now let's get back to the APC, right? Last time I asked you, I said, is there unity in the party? I want to ask you again, given the current state of things, and the former governor made a statement. He said, you've listened to it, it's all over the internet. I'm not going to be the one to I'm not going to say it all over again, but
no, you can say it because I can't hear him correctly.
When you're out, you can listen on YouTube. I'm just going to summarize it. He said that Tony Cole disobeyed the party that he was supposed to have let go, since the party let go, and giving affirmation to the tribunal's judgment. So is there unity in the party? Because 2 weeks ago, Senator Magnus Abe and Tony Cole, I think at different times, visited the APC national chairman, and there were talks about carrying River State along, which was also part of our former conversation. So what's your take on that, please?
My take, Kalada, is clear. When did APC appointed the former governor of Rivers State to be their spokesman? He has said that he's not leaving PDP. He's in PDP. So when did he turn APC spokesman as to know who disobeyed APC?
Now, I'm not a politician.
No, you are not.
But I do understand that there are political arrangements. There is what they call gentleman arrangements.
You see, I told you I don't work in speculation.
And last time I threw the question at you, and it looks like it's what is our reality.
And it's the same thing answer I'm giving you. Look, if APC today, APC have a national spokesman of APC, if that national person, the publicity secretary or the national chairman, or except the former governor of Rivers State is telling us that the APC have mandated him to speak on their behalf, that is why he will now know who disobeyed APC.
But what if he was part of the conversation? Because,
which conversation?
Like I said, he's in the PDP. His candidate won.
It's a simple thing, Canada. Can you be a member of one party and be speaking for another political party?
Okay.
That's why I don't get it right here now. Except you're telling me, if whoever, whether former governor of Rivers State or anybody comes and say, I have the authority and the mandate of the national chairman of APC to speak on behalf of APC, that's when the thing will make sense to me. But as it stands now, that somebody say Tony Cole disobeyed party, are you a member of that party?
Well, Tony Cole going ahead with an appeal, is this right, by the way, as enshrined in the Constitution, as
that's correct,
in Section 133 of the Electoral Act?
Yes.
But will he not be going against the APC, given the political arrangement that some of us believe or suspect is there? Because the former governor will not come out and say boldly that there is a disobedient act if he was not part of an arrangement. And I remember our last conversation, I mentioned to you that when the president, then a candidate, visited River State, he went to the government house, the brick house, and they had the conversation, which may have resulted in a gentleman agreement.
Canada.
Yeah.
It is not expected that a father or a mother will beat his or her child and say, you must not cry. Good. APC sponsored the candidacy of Tony Cole. APC, for whatever reason, say, we are not continuing. And Tony Cole say, I am continuing.
Okay.
It is the same APC that will say, Tony, come. Please, we don't want to.
Are you sure he has not been called?
No. Let me tell you something. Well, I'm here. I don't know where Tony is and what he does.
Okay.
But you see, when I mean Tony, remember that Tony, yes, his name, he was the candidate of that party. but people invested in him.
Of course, of course.
He also invested himself in that election.
Of course.
So it's not easy for anybody to sit down somewhere for whatever, according to you, arrangement they have, and you just say no, party is not going to tribunal, therefore you don't go. Nobody have such right. Tonye call by the power derived from this electoral act and even the constitution. He cannot infringe on his right. He has the right to fight his cause. So nobody, except he so decides that, look, I don't want to.
Let's quickly take some reactions. Time for us to open the phone lines. The time is fast spent already. But let's start with Facebook. Alex Onwuru Onyavu says, I am an APC member, so my boss will be noticed, but not away from the truth. Before the Election Petition Tribunal for governorship, there were facts and verifiable evidence laid before the judges. If what I heard the judges gave as reason was true, then the judiciary is gone in limbo. How can the learned judges jettison factual evidence and hold on to one lame action? They did not read the section of the Electoral Act, and you said 133 subsection 2, and you said this is complete rubbish. All right. Jonah Alaminji Pikina Makri. Jonah Alaminji Pikina Makri says, good evening, Mr. Canada. The tribunal rulings is a total disgrace to the entire judiciary. What did you expect when a certain minister is going to tribunal with the entire security apparatus as if he's the respondent, when even the man that was petitioned wasn't even in court? Only God will see Nigerians true. Chile Edwin says, it is quite unfortunate that things are going the way they are going, especially in River State, but the end will justify the means. Is that really a good saying? The end justifying the means? Anyways, thank God Ability Adwego says, Rivers people are satisfied with the tribunal ruling because the ruling reflects on what transpired at the polling units across River State. Congratulations to Siminalai Fubara and the entire Rivers people. On WhatsApp, man of the people, greetings, Rivers. Okay, I'm just going to take calls, one or two, quickly, while I'm waiting for the WhatsApp portal to load. 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003. Do call now. 0809 030 6416 is the WhatsApp number. I've got good news, and good news is calling from Port Harcourt. Hello, good news. Welcome.
Yeah, I greet you, my brother.
Yeah, welcome, please.
Dr. Beatrice and my brother in the studio.
If they can hear you, go ahead.
Let me just make one submission. This matter of Tony Cole and Fubara and APC, it's like a wife was raped, thoroughly raped, killed the child, brought her house, and she ran to the husband's people, and the husband people followed the car to the court. She filed a case to the court, and the husband will filed. And because of one or two things, the family of judgment say they're pulling off from the case. Now, the court will not say, because the husband people are pulling out from the case, that she too, the case has been thrown away. If they say the house belongs to the man, the husband people, and they will not do it, the child that died belongs to the man, they will not limit it. What about the woman that was brutally raped?
All right.
She doesn't have her own rights too, so she should go and revenge.
All right. Exactly. So, goodness, what's your point? Summarize, please.
My point is that a judgment that is to be given, if people cannot predict the outcome of judgment based on the open constitution we are seeing, then it is not more a good judgment.
All right. Thank you. Good news. Thank you. I've got Dakuku from HA. Dakuku, greetings. Welcome. What's on your mind, please? Let's hear you.
Good afternoon. This is Dakuku from
Good afternoon to you. Welcome.
So, let me tell you with your in the studio there. Let me tell you, the judiciary in this country are biased. It's a disgrace to Nigeria by the judiciary in this country. The people does not have hope on them again. I'm just telling you, if I thought judiciary are doing the needful and other things, this politician will sit well. Nobody will be able to do manipulation, election manipulation, because of they know the judiciary will find out everything.
Right.
But today, because of the taunting corruption in judiciary, makes people say, I will manipulate this election, I will win this election. So as they are saying, they know what they do. Even if they win it, they will go to tribunal, they will be able to sort out and get off their money, which is not good. That is why Nigeria is like this because of judiciary.
All right.
Second by police.
All right, Dakoko, thank you very much. Dakoko, I've got to go. All right, I've got to go. Thank you very much. Clinton from Bori, welcome. What is on your mind, please?
Kalata, good evening to you.
Yeah, greetings. Welcome.
It is very important to state that the judiciary is no longer the hope of the common man. It was before, but now we've seen this on several occasions where justice is not being served. Yes, I was not confident. I was not hoping for anything, because I knew up initial that the matter was already academic. Not that there is no substance of the matter, because justice will not be served based on the merit of the case. No, Tony Kona as an individual have a right to continue with his case since the first appellant have withdrawn. That's okay, based on the fact that some person supported and sponsored this campaign. The same thing happened to Magnus Abe. He decided to withdraw based on the fact that those that sponsored him have told him, don't go forward with your case because we don't have you get justice because of the justice we have now. So I expect that going forward, if we are to get it right in this country, we must start from the basics. The judiciary must be able to uphold the tenets of the law, and that's giving justice based on merit and not otherwise. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Clinton Ida from Nkoro. Ida, welcome. Quickly, please.
Yeah, Kalada, thank you very much. First of all, I want to appreciate the judiciary. They are doing the right thing so that our unborn children will not come and hered bad thing. When somebody win the election, you give to the person. This election that brought Nala Ifura, the golden governor of Rivers State, was free and fair in Rivers State. I'm from Obubu Nkoro local government. Because of Obubu Nkoro local government, we are smiling, drinking, casting our vote. No fight like other times. So the judiciary do well. I appreciate them. I want to beg Tonyuko and other members to use their strength and their power to support Steve Fubara to turn Rivers State to London. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much,
the governor of Rivers State.
All right, thank you very much. I'm going to take one more call. Emeka from Owerri, welcome.
Hello, good evening. Emeka from Owerri.
Yes.
Good, I greet you.
Emeka, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So, you see, the shenanigans that is going on in Nigeria tribunal these days, even we that are not lawyers, just like the lawyer said there, if somebody say, according to who, the thing is very simple. This time around, they have turned Abuja to a state. Tribunal has turned Abuja to a state in Nigeria. I don't know what is going on, Mr. Canada, honestly.
All right,
I can't understand. Thank God we have appeal court and the Supreme Court. Otherwise, what is going on now? I don't know what the students do, the writing, those who are doing whatever they are doing in the school. Through what is coming out from tribunal.
All right, Emeka, I've got to go. Emeka, I've got to go now. Thank you very much for your time. No, there is a commercial break coming up, so I've got to let you go. This one says, man of the people, greetings. Rivers people are satisfied with the tribunal ruling because the ruling reflects on what transpired at the polling units across Rivers State. I think I've read that. And so, quickly, please.
Well, my take is that the judiciary should redeem its image. In fact, what they are doing is discouraging Nigerians from coming out for election next time.
All right.
And the judiciary in Nigeria, I think they are getting that kind of global audience that they need to cleanse, and they should do it quickly.
All right,
if
then.
not, people don't have hope in judiciary again in this country.
All right, thank you very much. And your final words, please.
My final words is it this attitude of go to court. People say that go to court, believing that when they go to court, they can buy their way through. So judiciary, is time for us, me inclusive, to rise up and stop this attitude of confirming or affirming evil. Because we might go free, but there is God in heaven.
All right, then. All right, thank you very much. I've been speaking to Dr. Obidinma, who is the Director, Media and Publicity, Beatrice Itubo Campaign Council, and J.C. Williams, Esquire, an APC stakeholder here in River State. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming in.
Thank you.
All right, stay tuned. News update next.